Johnny Behan, the sheriff of Cochise County during the tumultuous days of Tombstone, Arizona, was a man surrounded by secrets, scandals, and shifting loyalties. While his badge proclaimed law and order, many whispered about his alleged ties to the outlaw cowboys, a notorious gang wreaking havoc in the region. Behan was accused of turning a blind eye, or worse, actively colluding with them, to maintain his political power and personal interests. One of the most controversial moments of his career was his role in the events leading up to the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral. While the Earp brothers and Doc Holliday sought to disarm the cowboys, Behan tried to intervene, reportedly telling Wyatt Earp he had already disarmed them, a claim that was later proven false. This perceived betrayal fueled suspicions about where his true allegiances lay. Behan's reputation took further hits when he openly opposed the Earps during their vendetta ride, accusing them of excessive violence while conveniently ignoring the lawlessness of the cowboys. His actions painted him as more politician than sheriff, with many seeing him as a man willing to manipulate justice for personal gain. Even after leaving Tombstone, Behan's career was marred by allegations of corruption and scandal, from dubious land deals to charges of misusing public funds. A figure of controversy to the end, Behan remains a symbol of the blurred lines between lawman and opportunist in the Old West. Long-hair Jim Courtright was a man whose reputation in the Old West was as sharp as the guns he carried. As the sheriff of Fort Worth, Texas, he built a fearsome image, known for his unrelenting pursuit of lawbreakers and a readiness to shoot first and ask questions later. But beneath the badge, Courtright's career was clouded with controversy, secrets, and a streak of violence that earned him both respect and fear. Courtright's time as sheriff was marked by an iron-fisted approach. He was quick to eliminate threats, often through deadly means, earning him the reputation of being one of the most dangerous lawmen of his era. However, whispers in Fort Worth hinted at a darker side. It was rumored that Courtright ran protection rackets under the guise of maintaining law and order, demanding fees from local businesses to keep them safe. This blurred line between protector and predator cast a shadow over his legacy. His fall from power came after his time as sheriff, when his violent tendencies caught up with him. Courtright's final showdown with Luke Short, a saloon owner who refused to bend to his intimidation tactics, became one of the most famous gunfights in Old West history. In a mere matter of seconds, Courtright was shot dead, his reputation as a deadly gunfighter intact, but his secrets laid bare. Long-haired Jim Courtright's life was a blend of law enforcement and law-breaking, a symbol of the chaotic justice of the Old West, where the line between hero and villain was often as thin as a trigger pull. Elfego Baca was a name that struck both fear and admiration across the rugged landscape of New Mexico. As a lawman, he was fiercely determined to bring order to a lawless frontier, but his methods and the legends surrounding him painted a picture of a man as controversial as he was fearless. Baca's story is forever tied to the infamous Frisco Shootout in 1884, where he single-handedly faced off against an angry mob of cowboys. Armed with a rifle, a six-shooter, and an unshakable will, Baca held his ground for 33 hours, reportedly killing several attackers and wounding many more, all while surviving a hail of bullets himself. But Baca's legend doesn't end there. As sheriff of Socorro County, his ironclad sense of justice often clashed with powerful interests, earning him both allies and enemies. Some accused him of overstepping his authority, taking the law into his own hands when it suited him. Others praised him for standing firm against corruption and protecting marginalized communities in an era of rampant discrimination. Baca's career was also marked by his ambitions beyond the badge. He dabbled in politics and law, working as an attorney later in life, yet rumors persisted that his methods as a sheriff weren't always above board. Elfego Baca remains an enigmatic figure, a man who embodied both the bravery and the complexities of the Old West, proving that justice in the frontier was rarely black and white. Pat Garrett is a name synonymous with the Old West, but his legacy is one of controversy and myth as much as it is of law and order. Best known as the sheriff who killed the infamous outlaw Billy the Kid, Garrett's career was marked by dramatic highs and bitter lows, making him a polarizing figure in Western history. As sheriff of Lincoln County, New Mexico, Garrett was tasked with taming one of the most violent regions in the West. His relentless pursuit of Billy the Kid culminated in the fateful night of July 14, 1881, when Garrett shot and killed the outlaw in a darkened room. While this act cemented Garrett's place in history, it also sparked debate that endures to this day. Did Garrett shoot Billy fairly, or was the Kid ambushed? Some even claim Billy survived, leaving Garrett's greatest achievement shrouded in mystery. Beyond Billy the Kid, Garrett's tenure as sheriff was not without its critics. His strict enforcement of the law earned him enemies among both outlaws and influential ranchers, who accused him of favoritism and overreach. Financial troubles and political failures followed him, leading to a strained reputation in his later years. Garrett's death in 1908 was as controversial as his life, shot in mysterious circumstances, with speculation pointing to a land dispute or even revenge. Pat Garrett's life is a tale of the blurred lines between lawman and legend, revered by some as a hero and dismissed by others as a flawed opportunist. His story remains one of the most compelling chapters of the Old West. Wyatt Earp is perhaps the most iconic lawman of the Old West, but his life was anything but simple. Known for his role in the gunfight at the OK Corral, Earp's career as a lawman was marked by both heroism and controversy, cementing his place as a legend while leaving a trail of unanswered questions. As a deputy sheriff and marshal, Earp was a steadfast enforcer of the law, often walking the fine line between justice and vengeance. The OK Corral shootout in 1881, where he, his brothers, and Doc Holliday faced off against the outlaw cowboys in Tombstone, Arizona, is his most famous moment. While the Earps emerged victorious, the gunfight sparked heated debates. Some saw Earp as a hero who stood up to lawlessness. Others accused him of executing a personal vendetta, blurring the boundaries of his badge. Earp's life after Tombstone was equally polarizing. Following the assassination of his brother Morgan, Wyatt embarked on a deadly vendetta ride, hunting down those he deemed responsible. His actions left a mixed legacy, with critics questioning whether he had turned vigilante. Moreover, accusations of corruption and gambling ties dogged him throughout his career, casting a shadow over his reputation. Despite these controversies, Earp carefully curated his image in later years, contributing to his mythic status in American folklore. He died in 1929, leaving behind a legacy of courage, complexity, and contradictions. A man who lived by his own code in a time when the West was anything but tame. Wyatt Earp remains a symbol of frontier justice, but whether he was a true hero or a flawed figure is a debate that continues to this day. What do you think? Are there any other sheriffs from the Old West who deserve a mention on this list? Share your thoughts in the comments. Also, do you believe law enforcement was more effective during the rugged, shoot-first days of the Old West? Or does today's modern system deliver better justice? We'd love to hear your perspective.